Hi, I'm Heather Hocker, President and CEO of the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra, and this is Clef Notes. I'm excited to introduce you to our musicians, guest artists, community members, and patrons who for 80 years have developed a love of music through your Lubbock Symphony here on the South Plains. On today's episode, I'm visiting with Lubbock Symphony Orchestra members, oboist and English horn, Angeli Marie Nicolas, and bassoonist Ian Resurrection. Angeli Marie and Ian, thank you for joining me on Cliff Notes.
Well, thanks for having us here.
And thank you so much for inviting us here. We're really excited to share our experience and talk about music in here.
I'm thrilled to have you. So, share with our audience and your background. Ian, would you like to go first?
Oh, sure. So I'm originally from the Philippines, and music has been a huge part of my life. I started learning music from a local community band from my hometown, and I started playing as a saxophone player. And eventually, I discovered the bassoon. I just fell in love with the instrument, and eventually, that passion led me to pursue advanced studies here in the United States. So I successfully completed my DMA degree at Texas Tech University.
Reckham.
Reckon.
Mhm.
Over time, I also learned how to play the contrabassoon, which also I use sometimes whenever I play with LSO. And I have involved myself in a lots of reed making throughout the process. Currently, I'm enjoying my time here playing with LSO, and I just feel very grateful to be a part of a very supportive musical community here in West Texas.
So, now that you've completed your DMA and playing with the Lubbock Symphony, do you have a private studio? What are you spending your days working on?
Currently, I have my private studio yet. That's one of my goals for sure. But right now, I'm spending my day doing it's a mix of everything I love, but mostly on the bassoon, reed making, and some hobbies on the side like gardening. But for now, I'm kind of busy finding something like doing job applications.
Wonderful. Well, we hope it keeps you here in Lubbock for
Yeah,
sure.
hopefully, I love it here.
Angeli Marie, share what a typical day is. Give us your background and what a typical day is like for you.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm also just like Ian. I'm also from the Philippines, and since I grew up in a musical family, so music has been part of me for as long as I can remember. But also before I played the flute, before I switched to oboe when I went to undergrad, and then I moved here to Texas to continue my studies at Texas Tech University, Go Tech, where I finished my master's and doctorate degrees in oboe performance. And throughout my study up until now, I'm very fortunate to perform with different orchestras around West Texas. And being part of Lubbock Symphony Orchestra has been a significant experience for me because it feels like a community that shares the same passion. And my typical day, actually, as a musician, I guess every day looks a little different. But usually my day includes practicing, rehearsals, gigs, or teaching, sometimes teaching, and a lot of preparation backstage.
So, this is concert week. So, share with our listeners how we're recording this ahead of time. Today is Tuesday. This will air on Saturday. Share with us what this week will look like, starting with today. Angeli.
Normally get ready for everything that I need, like reads and stuff, and then we have rehearsals tonight, running through all the music, and then just do spot ons where we need to make sure we're all together and all the stuff.
I know I just left the maestro. He's in our office today working with our concert master, preparing for the week and preparing for next season, even looking over next season's bowings for the strings. And the excitement is just wonderful. And today's concert now
Mhm.
is Celebrate America. So, why Lubbock? Why did you decide that we're going to leave the Philippines and we're going to come to Texas Tech,
Mhm.
Angeli?
Yeah, so actually, ever since, I mean, before I finished my undergrad, I already want to go grad school after that. So I decided to go at Texas Tech University, not just by its incredible music program, but also having the opportunity to learn from its amazing professors. So moving from the Philippines to Texas, it's like literally two different sides of the world was definitely a huge transition for us like international students. So just with the amazing professors, I just love the people. It feels like it's not just a place where we can learn not just as a musician, but also grow as a person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, do you get back to the Philippines very often?
Not very often because I mean, is it like 26 hours travel
Yeah,
or
Mhm.
like 30 hours
I think the most
travel?
we could do was every 2 years at
Yeah,
least.
I think it's every 2 years.
sure.
Yep.
Ian, why Texas Tech?
Oh yes, I completely agree with what Angeli just said. But for me, what made Texas Tech University stood out is the great mentorship that professors provide the students. I feel like most of the faculty here supports us students not only professionally but also personally. Especially, I cannot help myself but to mention my advisor, my professor, Professor Richard Mick, the bassoon teacher at Texas Tech University. He made me feel like I am home away from home, and we have a very nice studio there. It feels like really a family. And more to it is outside Texas Tech is Lubbock itself. I think people here has a genuine love and appreciation for the arts, and it feels like very comforting to have people around me who appreciates what I do, what we do as
Mhm.
musicians,
I agree.
orchestra artists. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, in that transition from working on your DMA, now you both have your DMAs,
Mhm.
and then deciding to actually stay here in Lubbock and continue your professional career. We
Mhm.
certainly appreciate that. So, and tell us, Ian, about your reed making.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the thing I mostly love about bassoon playing. Actually, reed making, if I can say about going back to the typical day for us as double reed players, it feels like reed making is a second full time job for us as it takes so much time, even more than practicing itself. It involves a lot of adjusting the wood, adjusting the reed that we used to play, especially here in Lubbock where temperature, weather, climate change in a span of a day. And with all of that changes, our reeds also change. So we have to adjust every time. And it's sometimes it feels very crazy.
Well, I know we've gone from almost 100-degree days to today is Tuesday. And I think if we get to 80, it's going to be a miracle. It's overcast, it's windy and cool. We expect rain. So I'm assuming throughout this week of rehearsals, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we are expecting rain Wednesday and Thursday. I'm assuming you'll have to adjust for that.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So we don't know what will happen from our first rehearsal tonight till the concert day on Saturday.
You always have to be
Yeah,
prepared.
we need
Yes.
to have so many reeds on our box.
Oh, that's
So the-
awesome.
Mhm.
How long does it take to build one reed?
for one reed, I would say because we're making a reeds from the raw material, I think well, maybe 2 to 3 hours just for a single reed.
Single
I
reed.
mean for a one piece of double reed, but I mean we don't make a reed just one at a time. We always make it as a group, as a bulk.
Yeah, bunch of reads every
Yes,
time.
Like a dozen, 12,
Mhm.
even
Yeah.
more sometimes.
sometimes
Yeah.
more.
Yep.
So, do you make reeds together? Because the bassoon reed and the oboe reed, I mean, they're different. So,
Yes. Well, sometimes
will
we
you work?
do work together, but like you have like a different machine and I have different machine.
Okay.
But most of the time, Ian is really into reed making, so
Sometimes she helps me with my reed making,
yeah. Mhm.
vice versa. I also
Yes.
help her with hers.
I love it. That's
Mhm.
awesome. I think the oboe and the bassoon reeds are just fascinating. I mean, just beautiful pieces of beautiful instruments
Yes,
that add to it.
and also I think it's like an art because it's like a woodcraft. Like you do something that is it's very useful that you can and then you can use it to play music or something like that.
And it's a completely different set of skill
Mhm.
outside of being a musician.
Well, and you have no idea what each reed will sound like until you actually get to test
Yes,
it.
yes, yes.
Yes.
That's awesome. So what's next? You finished your DMAs. You had mentioned a little bit that you're interviewing, and in 10 years, where do you see yourself?
Oh, in 10 years, I still hope to continue growing as a musician, as a performer, educator, and artist as a whole. But to tell whether where I will be after 10 years, I am not quite sure yet, depending on where the opportunity brings me. I may be staying here in the United States or I may be back home to the Philippines. Well, who knows? But I think one thing is for sure, wherever I will be, I will continue to support and hopefully inspire the next generation of musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Angeli?
Yeah, that's very inspiring. Well, I think in 10 years, hopefully I'm still playing, teaching, sharing my music with different communities, but just really use music to connect with and share music with other people, especially the young children.
Well, and they are our future. We've done lots of reflecting here the last few weeks of this next 80th season
Mm-hmm.
of the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra. And we're so excited. What would be your goals for the Lubbock Symphony if, let's fast forward 10 years and you continue to see this growth? What do you foresee for the Lubbock Symphony?
Actually, one thing that I really admired with Lubbock Symphony is its connection with the community. That's also one thing that I hope to continue growing, is the connection with the audience. And I know for sure that Lubbock Symphony has already impacted so many lives over the past 80 years. And maybe that's what I vision for Lubbock Symphony in the future, is to continue having more audience, or to introduce more people in the live orchestra performance scenery. It's just very great to be part of that future.
Absolutely. Angeli?
Yeah, so with the Love Symphony, I think just like Ian, I hope it continues growing and reaching other people in the community, because it's very inspiring to have like an orchestra where it's not just sharing music but also gathering, bringing people connect with each other through music. And it's not just about performances but also creating meaningful experiences and inspiring other people. And with Lubbock Symphony celebrating its 80 years is a beautiful milestone, and we're both very grateful to be even small part of that legacy. So we're both excited to see the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra to continue to inspire other people for many more years to come.
Well, thank you. And it's because of our wonderful musicians, such as yourselves, that help us continue that goal every day of creating beautiful music here on the South Plains. And of course, tell all your friends to help us sell out Buddy Holly Hall. That's our goal for the 80th season, is to have 2,200 guests for every concert at Buddy Holly Hall for the 26-27 season. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was such a privilege to get to meet both of you and to hear a little bit about your story, and look forward to Celebrate America. The LSO Celebrate America concert is today, Saturday, May 23rd at 7:30 p.m. at the Buddy Holly Hall of Performing Arts and Sciences. Be sure and join us at 6 p.m. for Hannah Jackson and her band, Under the Bird's Tail, on the East Side. A special thank you to our concert sponsors, Armstrong, Double T Smiles, and United Supermarkets for supporting this concert. Our friends at Armstrong will be providing hot dogs for our guests this evening, beginning at 6 p.m. A special thank you to our producer, Rachel Boyd. You can find the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra on social media, and to purchase tickets, visit our website at lubbocksymphony.org, and be sure to download the Classical 105.7 app so you never miss an episode of Clef Notes. Make it a great day.